Everyone, welcome to our Young Adult Book Chat for March. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This book is an audiobook in our collection. It goes for 8.5 hours and is narrated by Laura Knight Keating. Recently, the Netflix movie version of this book has really put a spotlight back onto this story. So I thought it would be a good book for this month's book chat. It is a bit of a departure from our usual science fiction and fantasy reviews, but it is a good book, so stick with me and hopefully it's something that lots of you will enjoy listening to. So the story surrounds Lara Jean and her family. This includes her two sisters and her dad, her mother having passed away when she was younger. The family is going through a big period of change as Margot, the older sister, is heading off to college overseas. Lara Jean is having to step up with her responsibilities in the family and looking after her younger sister Kitty. She's also entering junior year, which is the Australian equivalent to year 11, and she's recently turned 16, so it's a big year in her adolescence. Then her life is made so much more complicated when 5 secret letters that she wrote to 5 different boys over a period of years are mysteriously posted out to these boys. And then suddenly she has more boy attention than she knows what to do with. What follows is a funny story of her navigating first loves, her friendships, love rivals, and growing up. The book juggles multiple themes and it does it really well, I think. Firstly, it's a coming of age story. So we're with Lara Jean as she makes big steps towards adulthood. For example, she's learning to drive, she's taking more responsibility in the household and also for her sister. She's also learning how to face up to embarrassment and unpleasant emotions. She's also learning to put herself out of her comfort zone when it comes to her friendships and her relationships. So, of course, there's a theme of love and navigating first relationships and everything that goes along with that. Lara Jean finds herself in a bit of a love triangle and all of that plays out. So that's all in there. It's very amusing at times and it's not too heavy-handed. So even if you're not big on romantic stories, there's lots of other elements in this book to enjoy. The value of sisters is really highlighted in this book and I thought that was done really well. It's lovely to see each of the 3 girls evolve during the story and also to see their relationship and how that develops over this period of time. There's also the relationship the girls have with their dad, which is really beautifully told and is a really nice element to the story. Another thing I really appreciated, and I know a lot of people that watch the Netflix movie appreciate as well, is the cast of characters is very diverse. So Lara Jean herself is half Korean and very often she'll talk about her culture that she got from her mother's side and also the different foods that they cook or that her dad tries to cook, Korean foods, things like that. So that's really nice. And actually food is a big theme in this book. I have to warn you not to read this or listen to this when you're hungry because Lara Jean is always baking something. So I found myself caught out sometimes when I was listening in the car and she's making some cupcakes or some biscuits and become very hungry. So, but I really enjoyed the food aspect of the book, I guess. It was a really fun thing and it did make you want to bake, if that helps. Generally, I would recommend this book to anyone who enjoys contemporary young adult books. As I mentioned, there is that romance aspect, but it's also lots to enjoy. So don't dismiss it just because of that. Those that have watched the movie already, I think you won't be disappointed in the book. Of course, it brings out a lot more than what the movie can in a short period of time. So a lot of more backstory and the thoughts and actions in the family. The narrator does have a strong American accent, so that's just something to bear in mind. I actually found that I sped the book up a little bit and that made it a little bit easier to listen to. So I set it to about 120% on my app, which you can do in settings, and that just seemed to move a bit quicker because the story is quite pacey. So that's worth doing if you're finding it's moving a little slowly for you. In regards to appropriate age, the book does have a few swear words in it, so bear that in mind. And there are some older teen themes, so I would probably recommend this title for the 14 years and over age range. The book is actually the first in a trilogy about Lara Jean, and the other 2 books in the trilogy will be added to the Vision Australia Library very shortly in audio format, so definitely look out for them if you enjoy To All the Boys I Loved Before. Thanks so much for watching my review this month. We'll look forward to chatting with you next month.